for you? Do you think that they're targeting the minority vote, Muslims vote? They feel that if they can take a principled position here and say that there is a difference between state and religious activity, they will be at least able to get a larger part of the minority vote, because Hindutva vote is not going to come to them. Even during the Karnataka election, they actually ate into JDS. And if you look at the Telangana election, there was no confrontation with the Hindutva vote. They ate into the vote of the BRS.
That's true. I sometimes really wonder about the thinking of the Congress party, that why they think so. Why can't a party be inclusive? It's no problem to target a particular section of the society, be it Muslims or be it anybody in the society. That is fine. But can't you be inclusive by deciding to opt out of this great event, a historic event, I should say, on 22nd? The Congress has, done something which I would say politically a wrong decision, and probably they would later repent it, because when you go to the event, and suppose they had not been invited, just a hypothetical chance, suppose they had not been invited, then what would have been the narrative in the country? That Modi is definitely trying to keep the opposition out to take political advantage. Now, once everybody has been invited, to say that I will not go on one or the other pretext is against the tradition and culture of Indian, protocol and etiquette. That is one thing. And the second is that on very petty iftar parties and other things, these leaders, they don't have any hesitation to go, and that is fine. If they go, there is no problem in that. So on a small iftar parties, you think that going over there is fine, but in such a mega thing, which is a national celebration and global celebration, probably the whole globe is watching this event, and there you are creating, lot of uh, not untenable pretexts around this pretext. It is BJP event or RSS event. It will not cut ties with the people, and probably people will not accept this kind of an argument.
Okay, this
Okay.
question is for both of you. First to you, and then to Sunita Aaron. Do you feel that the new cultural nationalism has actually displaced Nehruvian socialism or Nehruvian secularism as a mainstream in Indian society? People have taken that call.
When you say this thing, I really feel amused.
From the center.
Because
from the center. From the center.
Yes, because you see, we have forgotten the real meaning of socialism. I told you that secularism is a particular concept which does not, prohibit you from indulging into religious practices or, the cultural moorings. And Lohia is one great example of this, that he was a socialist by, ideology and tradition and everything by heart in his art, but he was organizing mega Ramayana melas, etc. And he thought that there is no, incongruity in the two. So when you talk of cultural nationalism, what is cultural nationalism? India is a society which is civilizationally very old, and we have a tradition of culture and civilization. And every Indian, including the Muslim, I would say that these opposition parties, they are creating not only problems for themselves, but they are creating problems for the groups on which they are actually targeting for 2019 or 2024. That is the Muslims. A lot of Muslims are, participating in this mega event. They are very happy about it. They are participating. They are giving a lot of inputs in this entire process. So why segregate Muslims? Muslims cannot be identified with this opposition bloc. The Muslims are very much part of the cultural heritage of the country, and they are very much, in
You
tune with
spoke
this
about
entire
Ram Manohar
celebration.
Lohia.
Yeah.
It really distracted me. I have to read this quote of Ram Manohar Lohia to you. वो कहते थे कि भारत
Yeah.
माता हमें शिव का मस्तिष्क दो, कृष्ण का हृदय दो, राम का कर्म और वचन दो, हमें असीम मस्तिष्क और उन्मुक्त हृदय के साथ साथ जीवन
That's
की
what I'm.
मर्यादा से रचो. I mean,
That's what I'm
this is
saying,
Ram Manohar
Kartikeya.
Lohia on Krishna,
Yes.
Shiv and Ram.
So he was the real socialist who would understand not only the ideological part of his, game, but also the cultural part of
True.
the Indian society. And he never thought that there is an incongruity and they are dissected, they are dichotomized. He tried to amalgamate it and fought it lifelong, that Indian society should not be seen as a Western secularism from the lens of Western secularism, where secularism is a term which gives you a right to worship in a particular manner. That is panth in our, in our Indian lexicon. And therefore, you will see that the Hindi translation of the word secularism is not dharm nirpeksh in the constitution, it is panth nirpeksh. So we use the term very liberally, dharm nirpeksh, but you cannot be nirpeksh with the dharm, because dharm says, dhriti kshama damostem shaucham indriya nigraha, dhi vidya satyam akrodha dashkam dharm lakshanam. So these are the 10, important cardinal principles of dharm, and you cannot dissociate from those cardinal values. Therefore, you cannot be dharm nirpeksh. You can be panth nirpeksh, of course, and Lohia was that. And Lohia very well respected dharma also. Lohia very well respected his ideology also.